Welcome to Not Like This. Not Like This. From professional wrestling, horror films, and everything in between. Strap in. And now your hosts, Dale Zawada and Jim Snedeker Jr.
Do something like a little phenomena. Get a handful of that big bastard in there. Do his phenomena. Your knees will move like a muppet when I'm done with you, and I stretch the ligaments out. It just pops out. I'll move around like a little bit of a little muppet, like a Kermit the Frog. Yeah, Brett. Merry Christmas, Brett. You're my favorite of all 18 kids, Brett.
I was gonna say something bad.
Could you imagine Christmas at Hart House?
You mean, can I wish for it in my wildest, deepest imaginings? Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Did we talk about that, or did that happen within the last 7 days?
That happened within the last 7 days. So,
oh boy. Welcome to Not Like This. I'm Dale Zawada. That's Jim Snedeker Jr. Merry Christmas, everybody.
yes, Merry Christmas.
Ahead,
Have some nog. Get some nog going. Have a little drinky poo. So
I've got nog right now, and I forgot how much I hate it.
Aw.
I like the idea of it. Maybe I got a bad batch. It's just I like White Russians more. Is all.
You know, can I be honest with you?
Yes.
I've never had eggnog, and I don't know what it tastes like.
Then why did you? True. Dale, how could you not like nog?
Yeah, you're giving it away now. You're giving the people the peek behind the curtain.
I fucking reverse doxed myself. So, Jim, please tell us all about your dreams.
So I had a dream that I went to Canada for vacation to Alberta with my wife. And in the dream, I went to Hart House.
Understandable.
Now, we weren't there to see Hart House, but I was like, hey, we're pretty close. We're in Alberta, Calgary. Let's see. Yeah, we're right by Hart House. And in the dream, I went on Google Maps and like found it, and there was a picture of it. You know, and it's I had read an article in real life, not in the dream world, that said that, you know, it's like a municipal monument or a provincial monument or something, you know, like a historic, landmark. Like a landmark. Because they don't own, the Hart family doesn't own it anymore, but it wasn't, you know, they didn't destroy it or anything.
And that's something real, right?
Yes, that's real. So in the dream, I'm like, oh, well, it's a landmark. We can go there. And we get there in the dream, and there's nothing there. And there's like a restaurant. And the restaurant has like bricks left over from Hart House. So they're like, yeah, so technically it's still quote unquote Hart House. So it's still historic. It's still here, but it's really just this big restaurant where Hart House used to be. And I was bummed. But on the way there, I was at the gas station asking for directions in the dream. And this lady mentioned, like, yeah, Brett comes in here. And I was like, oh, is he going to be in here when I'm here? What's going to happen? But Brett wasn't in the dream. And Hart House wasn't really Hart House. But I was like, might as well eat here, I guess. We're here. And then I woke up.
What kind of food did they have at Hart House?
I don't know exactly, but it was sort of like an American style steakhouse, you know, like your steak and potatoes type of like upscale type joint, but it wasn't like an Italian restaurant or anything. It was, you know, like a classic steakhouse.
As long as it wasn't like a Shoney's or something.
No. It was like a fine dining restaurant.
Only the best for Bret Hart and Hart House.
It looked nothing like Hart House from the pictures I've seen of it. But it was like, yeah, we'll see you at the porch here and see these bricks around the porch. Like this was part of Hart House. It was as if they knew the percentage of it they needed to keep the same to keep the historical status, and then just use that much and built a new restaurant.
You're so cynical, even in your dreams.
I know. I know. I really am.
Brett didn't even show up in your dream either. It's like, oh shit. And he's like, I don't need gas today, so I'm not going to be at that gas station.
Yeah, it's true that even in my dreams, I ruin everything. Merry Christmas to you.
Have yourself a COVID little Christmas.
Doing that this
I've been
year.
singing that one. Yeah, let's get an update here. How's everybody doing?
So far,
Do you
everyone's
still- do you still
okay.
have it? I don't even know how long it lasts anymore. Does it? You just like shit it out at a certain point? You're like, it's gone. Good.
I don't know. I don't have any symptoms anymore. I don't know how long I'll be positive or anything like that. So who knows? Chris is good.
That's
Chris is
good.
feeling better. She was back to work. She's all, pretty cleared up there. And we get the kids back in a couple days. Haven't seen them. I haven't gotten to hug my children or touch them since August.
It's a while.
Yeah.
It's almost a
And-
4 spot.
And man, if I had to go through Christmas without them, I don't know. Thanksgiving's one thing. Thanksgiving was okay. Like we made the food, we ate the food, we had each other. I had COVID. But
Aside, some mashed potatoes and COVID.
But to put the tree up and decorate it with no kids around and have presents under the tree that you won't get anyone to open in person, and no Christmas movies, no stockings, none of that stuff that everyone loves. That was going to be rough.
Yeah.
But we get
But
them
you're gonna
back
get
2
them-
days.
And so, was that Christmas Eve? Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
Christmas double Eve.
Christmas double Eve. Speaking of stockings, too, growing up as a kid, I never had a stocking at my house. We never had stockings, nor did I have a stocking at like my mom's parents' house, and that's who we went to most often. And I know my cousin's family, so like my mom's sister, they had stockings, but I'm wondering if that came from my uncle's side, because we never had stockings growing up. So Chris made a post on Facebook, and it was just like a sharing an article where it's like, every year I get all the kids' stockings together and there's never anything in my stocking and all this kind of stuff. And she's like, yeah, that's me. And I'm like, you get presents. Fuck, they're not in a sock.
I can't fit a TV in a sock.
So I told her, I said, look, it's not like I don't think of you on Christmas and don't want to get you gifts. I grew up I tried to flip the script on her and make her feel bad for me.
There we go.
Like, it's just, my whole life, I just never had a stocking. So I'm just I don't even think about it. And it's all
just
true.
normal for me.
It's all true stuff.
Yeah. How'd that go over?
She didn't feel bad for me one bit, which she shouldn't. She shouldn't. I was spoiled rotten as a kid, so she shouldn't feel bad. But I was just explaining to her that, don't ever feel bad for me. She won't. So I just never had one. I never had one. So when I don't ever think of Christmas and imagine a stocking and pulling things out of it. It just never occurred when I was little. So I'm like, I'll get you stuff for your stocking. I'm sorry.
It always seemed like a fireplace thing. And if she's living that fireplace life, well, God bless.
Yeah, she had a piano as a kid. She had a basement. She had all these fancy things I didn't have growing up. Stockings.
We barely had regular socks, let alone Christmas socks. Go get your old gym socks.
She had all this stuff,
grab one.
All this highfalutin air conditioning, all these things that,
oh my God,
these modern conveniences.
We had fans. We had box fans, and it was like a four corners match. It's like, all right, set them up.
Open the window, stick the box fan in the window. We had a room with an air conditioner in it, and I called it what did we call it? It had a silly name because I was a little kid, but it was like the ice box or the ice room, something like that. And it was like, oh, you're sweating like in the house, and you go into this one room with the TV in it and close the door, and it had a window air conditioner. So you're like, oh God, at least it's cool in here.
Or you did the old poor trick where it's like, oh, I'm so hot. Let me just open this freezer and just kind of half climb in it a little bit. Oh.
Yeah, or like drinking a lot of Weilers, which was, I guess that's like Kool-Aid for poor folks. Drinking a lot of Weilers mixed punch and ice water hose. I had a little one of those little kiddie pools when I was like 6, the little plastic like 1.5 foot tall one,
Yeah.
and that was nice.
That was like your stocking, because I don't think I had one of those. But I had a lot of other fun stuff. Only child life. Even if you're in a poor neighborhood, it's like, well, there's just me, guys. So let's focus here.
Yeah, and I think when it's just you, so I grew up with friends that had siblings, and I think even when they would get cool stuff, it was always like, but what did he get? But what did she get? Well, that's cooler than what I got. Like, there was none of that to have to deal with.
How do the boys deal with that now? Although Jack's kind of too small to really care. But you're going to get into that Harry Potter life when it's like, last year there was 37. Oh, well, some of them are quite more this year, Dudley. Ooh.
That was more Teddy when he was little, like 1, 2, 3 years old. It was just like piles and piles of gifts for things that he would play with. And like by the time he had a memory in his brain, didn't remember these things and they disappeared. But they're 5 years apart. And I mean, 5 years apart at this age is pretty big. Jack still likes toys and Teddy has no time for it.
What's the sweet spot there? Because the 5-year difference, like what's the best crossover age group where there's going to be a lot of like socialization, memories, bonding? Like when he's 10, he's going to be 15. And that's where, I mean, there's really not a good overlap. Freshman, senior.
There isn't.
We're going to miss that. Oh, man, that would have been great. It's like, yeah, my little brother's a freshman. And he's looking out for him. He's like pounding these other bullies, just DDTing, just a little tornado DDT off the lock.
I don't mean to make everything even worse because we're most likely sending them back after Christmas break, that they're going to go back in person to school.
Renting.
No, they'll be here. They'll live here. And they're going to go back to school in person. So they will get to be in the same. Yeah. Yeah, they will. They'll get to be in the same building. So it would have been this year where Jack was in kindergarten and Teddy's in 5th grade. It'd be the only year they were ever in the same school building together. Right.
It's fun though. I like that.
So the worst year possible. And then after that, they'll never cross over. But I would imagine once one of them, once Teddy can drive, Jack will be a little like Teddy's age now. And like, so if he wants to go to GameStop or something, Teddy will probably want any opportunity to use the car. So they might have some bonding going on there. Like I had a cousin that was 4 years older than me. And like, as soon as he was able to drive and had a car, it was like, sweet. Where do you want to go? Fucking wherever we want.
Who needs to go anywhere?
Yeah, like wherever we want within this 12-mile radius of where we know things are.
I've only got half a tank of gas and I don't have any money, so
I got a 1/5 a tank of gas. We can go wherever we want for 12 minutes. In this 1982 Cutlass Supreme. But yeah, it was cool. Go to the record store or whatever. Go into Taco Bell. I mean, everything was cooler when you were there without an adult.
Easy, Grandpa.
It was
the record store.
Yeah, it was called Big Time Records in Munster, Indiana, and it was awesome. They had vinyl records there, which I wasn't really into back then, but they would have like hard to find EPs and singles and like Japanese editions of albums, and a ton of bootleg illegal shit.
God bless what was it?
Big Time. Big Time. Nice. And there was this guy working there. I don't know. We always joked like he was out of Goodfellas. Okay, what do you guys want? You looking for, whatever you want, I got. You know what I'm saying? And then he closed up He didn't stay in business too very long.
Yeah, that business model didn't last, huh?
I don't think it's for the long term. But that was just one of many places we would go.
Out of money. That was just a front. He's like,
I'm sure he probably sold drugs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I could imagine. I remember his older sister, she's 6 years older than me. She had a baby but she was into Beanie Babies. So like she's taking care of the baby and on the weekend in the morning, and she'd be like, here's money. Go get the new Tabasco bear. It's going to be worth $8 million one day. So like we would go run errands for her because it's, you still got to go somewhere without an adult.
Tabasco bear.
Yeah, whatever. The bull.
Beanie Baby?
Yeah.
Beanie Baby?
Yeah, she was collecting all that shit, and she used to make fun of us because we'd make fun of her for how much she was obsessed with it. She's like, these Beanie Babies one day are going to be worth so much money, I'm going to be able to put this baby through college with it. And I think what ended up happening is so poetic. It was like there was a big Beanie Baby market crash, and then they just became trash to everyone. But then there was like a little bit of a resurgence later where like some of them were still worth a lot of money, but she had already gotten rid of everything.
Oh, no. It's like Bitcoin. She Bitcoined herself?
Yeah, she Bitcoined herself. But imagine if it was like 20 years from now, Bitcoin was worth like money. And there was a big gap in between. She didn't wait it out, man. It's like video games. Like imagine if you had Legend of Zelda, the original one for NES. There was a time where
gold cartridge.
Yes. Imagine you had that. There was a time where that's expensive when it first comes out, and it's hot, and then Super Nintendo comes out, and then 64 comes out, and the value just drops, and you're like, well, this ain't gonna be worth shit. And then now, if you have that in the box, yeah, it's like, it's probably $200 or something. You just got to stick it out. Some mark will pay for it, and that's why I don't get rid of shit.
I was just gonna say, I hope you're doing that now with their toys and their video games and stuff, because it might be a collector's some Nerf gun thing that gets them suspended. Might be worth some money.
Yeah, he got in trouble for that. Well, I'm gonna find out who that rat is too.
Give him just a Nerf assassination.
Yeah, I mean the kid's he's 6 years old. He's excited because he went on this little tour of the neighborhood Christmas light tour, and there was a Santa Claus out there, and he gave him a little toy Nerf gun, and he was talking about it during class, and then some parent narked on him about it to the teacher, so he got a talking to. It's a Nerf gun.
How does that talk go? What are the words that come out of the mouth in that conversation? So you went and saw Santa, and he gave you a Nerf gun, but you can't talk about what Santa gave you.
Yeah,
in class.
So here's what I don't know, because we don't do the e-learning with them, so I don't know exactly verbatim what so the teacher didn't say that to Jack. Obviously, the teacher said it to Chris's mom. Like a parent complained that he was talking about his Nerf gun that he got from Santa. But what I never got out of Chris's mom, because she's Chris's mom, and if you know,
kayfabes everybody.
It's not that. No, if you know her, you get it. But I asked her, okay, did he get in trouble for like bragging about a toy during class time, or did he get in trouble because it's a toy gun? And the answer I got was he was talking about a Nerf gun during class, and the teacher told me, and I'm like, okay, we're getting no.
Playing.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere today. So I don't really know what was said.
Crazy. Like you hear about those stories all the time where it's just like the kid makes like a gun gesture with his finger and thumb. And it's like, well, you're not going to college ever now. It's
right.
Or
you might be president. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. I never thought it would be in my my inner circle here. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's in your sanctum.
I know.
It's in your damn near rectum. Killed him. I don't know.
Sanctum.
Dale, it's Christmas time, holiday season. You know what that means? I get sucked in to another goddamn Call of Duty. And now, look.
That time of the year.
I get shit from someone who will actually listen to this. John.
God bless you.
God bless you, John, for listening. But I get shit about like, oh, you only play one game and blah, blah, blah. Not true. And then there's this free week for the new Call of Duty Cold War. And I'm like, here, well, it's a free week. We can all, it's cross-platform. We can all play it together. And I downloaded it, and god damn it, I really like it.
It is really good. And yes, it's a Call of Duty. So yes, it's basically the same as a lot of the other
All the other ones.
As like, the last 3 to 5 years, updated this, updated that. Same fucking thing though. But one thing that I've heard and I agree with, like even a lot of the streamers, they play Warzone and they do the Warzone Battle Royale because that's their business.
That's
what gets them
exactly.
money.
That's their business.
But all of them, including my main man, Dr. Disrespect, he was like, yeah, Cold War, it's really good. And I wish I could play it more, but like I can't.
But I need to pay my bills by playing this other one.
Yeah. So, and I do like the maps are better than the past game here. It's just crisper. Everything's just pretty fine tuned and simplified. Cold War, so it's a period piece.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just
the craziness of the
really
weapons is a
nice.
little toned down.
Yeah, it doesn't get too wacky or wild. It's manageable. And yeah, I think it's pretty good. And
what I really
have it and I'll be playing it.
I really like about it is there's a trend because of all the battle royale games, and my computer does not like those. My video card has a problem with all the big battle royale games. So like Warzone, PUBG, even PUBG just is like runs like crap on everyone's computer. But there's a lot going on. And I was really into like Rainbow Six Vegas and to a degree like Counter-Strike. These are the maps so far in Cold War are a lot more, they seem to be tailored more toward like a 6-on-6 game. A lot of indoors, like you're in the shopping mall and you're inside and there's floors, and it's not like you're out in the wilderness or like a big sprawling battlefield, which can be really fun. But it can also get a little, it can be really exciting to be in like a shopping mall. That's, like, oh, everyone's fighting in the food court. You know what I mean? Like you're not running, looking for someone. And then, you're driving tanks around and shit, which was fun in Modern Warfare.
There's a time for that.
It can just be a bit too much of a snipe fest, and, this just seems a little more toned down and a little stripped down, and I think it runs well. It's fun. The game modes are the same, Yeah. And I shouldn't like it just because it's the same old thing, but it's different enough where I like it.
I agree. And it's nice to have that over the holidays. People have some extra days off, so we're like, well, fucking, let's just shoot up these kids. And there are a lot of kids because you can just hear like, that kid, what's he doing?
I talked about this at lunch today. I told my wife about this. I told her that I think the reason I like a game like Overwatch or Call of Duty more than a game like, say, PUBG or one of these more it's your friends against the computer, like you're running raids type of, like Destiny, Division, those type of games, is I can make people feel bad about their day. I can make people wish they hadn't picked up a controller today. And that feeling makes me so happy.
Merry Christmas.
You could do that in Overwatch, but the people that you hear in Overwatch are only your team. So if they're complaining, it's probably because you're losing.
Yeah.
But in Call of Duty, you can hear the other team complain, and that just juices me up. It just charges my little Energizer battery all up when I hear them. Come on, I couldn't even shoot back at him. Oh, I love that.
Left. Yeah, it's that human element. It's fun.
It's just fun. I said he's right behind you.
And the one, like I said, the maps are really good in Cold War, and that mall map is probably the piece de resistance.
It's fun
because it has like a Spencer's. It's got a Radio Shack called Radio Hut. Like it's just adorable.
It hits,
and everything kind of goes down at the fountain. It's like the center of the mall, and that's action packed.
I want to know if you agree with this. I think the reason I love the mall so much is because I miss loving the mall so much. And it's
it's
like
the best
how the
parts
mall,
of the mall without
and
the people.
It's like how it was when we were kids, though. Like there's a Radio Shack, there's a record store, there's a Cinnabon. You know, it's not like a new mall now. It's like a mall when we were kids.
That's true. Do you think these youngins even get it?
I don't think they get it.
The jokes, because there is like a Spencer's called like Spencer's or some bullshit.
Yeah, I don't think they get the joke.
Oh,
hot dog
kids.
stands and shit.
You don't even know what we had to go through. Now they can't even have a water fountain. They're like, that's a safety hazard. So we have this LED display instead.
Right.
A child almost slipped and fell into the fountain, so we got rid of it. And now we have this LED. Goddamn South America.
America fuck no is what I say.
I'd love to leave it.
And I'm loving leaving it. Man. Oh, if you're on the Patreon, you got some good ones coming in your way. You've got like probably the most in-depth breakdown you're ever going to get on this show about the NWO. So if you go to patreon.com/notlikethis, that episode is going to be up later this week. And then we got a movie coming in. Dale likes to give me shit if a movie is over 93 minutes. And man, I found one that, I mean, he'll do it, but he prefers a 90-minute. He just feels like he doesn't want the dead air. He wants to make
concise. I worry that I'm going to lose my energy by the end of it, and then I'm not going to pull my weight.
And then sometimes in Last Action Hero, even though it is like a 90-minute movie, you still feel like it was 2.5 hours long.
Holy shit! No.
We have an 88-minute movie coming up this week, and it's one I've been sort of dying to do, and I found it at Disc Replay for $1.
And it is Christmas related. It's about family. It's about coming together.
Yeah. It's a holiday themed movie.
It is a holiday themed movie.
So,
I don't know how many of our folks are going to have it to watch along with it.
Right.
But if you do have Shudder or a fucking library, you're covered. So
yeah, just go find it.
A good one.
Go
that
find
wrestling
it.
Rabbit hole, for those on the wrestling tier on the Patreon or who have been thinking about it, now is the time, because you're going to get 90 plus minutes.
Yeah.
Of new world order.
You're getting so much value this month.
Wow. And we talk about Vincent for like 5 seconds because we know what to do. Like, and Vincent was there, and then moving on.
Yeah, the Nasty Boys. There's just shit I didn't even know about. It was
a fun trip.
I love when we pick one of those and it ends up going in a place I didn't think, and then I learn shit. Like, I didn't know Scott Hall wore pants. Stuff like that.
I don't like it. So I'm finishing up my Christmas shopping because today it's 4 days before Christmas. So I'm a little
getting late. Yeah, getting late.
A couple other people. Well, it's the coworker thing, you know.
Oh yeah.
I don't have to do it, but I'm just like, yeah, let me get that person a thing. I'm at Jewel. I'm at all the stores, but it's the Jewel that I want to talk about because this lady at Jewel clearly had COVID-19.
Oh no. I was expecting you to go there and hoping that you weren't going there.
Man, I'm standing in one of the checkout lines because they're all, 5-6 people deep, which is understandable. I'm not hot at you. Let's get a fucking teenager on 7, please. God damn. I don't care. But in the next checkout lane over, she's just, and I know that cough because I've heard that cough.
You have.
And I'm like, is there a frog in the building? Nope. There's just a middle-aged woman who gives no fucks about the fact that she is carrying COVID-19. Fucking, and everyone's giving her the stink eye. And I was like, are we going to ask her to leave? Because maybe we should. Because now she's like, I mean, of course, a mask, but we're in the checkout. And I'm just thinking, you might be contaminating all the Snickers. Not the Snickers. What if I need to grab like a Kit Kat bar and you're, man, the people after you, I felt so bad. And my whole thing was, like you guys I know so many people who have caught the Chinese virus. And in my mind, because I can also be somewhat cynical, I was like, I'm going to get it and I'm going to get that shit over Christmas. I guarantee you I'm going to have a very COVID Christmas. And when she started coughing, I was like, here it is.
I told you.
I'm looking up at God like, you piece of shit. So hopefully, double masks. That's the whole thing. Cuts it down by like 98%. And I'm like, good, stay over there. I wish she was 2-3 checkout lanes over, but no, right next to mine, 5-6 feet tops.
Double mask, you mean she has one, you have one?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought I'm wearing 4 masks today.
If I had an extra one in my pocket, I would have layered.
Just push it onto her face like you need another one.
I just choke her with it. It's like,
you need to wear a pillowcase over your head or something. Cut a little Jason eye hole in it and just keep your shit inside there.
But I'm just standing there listening to her cough, thinking about what I'm going to do with my $600 stimulus. Like,
yeah.
What am I gonna do with?
I guess go to the ER.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay half a rent and die. Thanks.
Yeah.
$600. Fuck you.
So, yeah, folks, if you're sick, stay the fuck at home. I did not go out when the first day I had symptoms. I'm like, I'm done. I'm quarantining. I'm toast. I didn't go get, and like I was sick, but I wasn't the sickest I've ever been. I could have gone places and been fine, like physically myself, but I wasn't going to even go to like a drive-through or something when you have it. And it's
a 1v1 too.
You have it. Okay, even if you test negative, if you got the symptoms, do you want to give someone whatever that is too? Just stay home.
They have the false negatives all the time.
Stay home.
There's so many falsies out there.
Yeah, the false positives, not so much. False negatives happen. Stay home. People will deliver your groceries, whatever you need. You don't got to be out there spreading this around. It sort of is like the people that think we never should have locked down or that we locked down too long or whatever, and they say, if you're vulnerable, stay home. Everyone else, go out and take that risk. And it's like, yeah, except the people that are sick don't. Also, they can stay home. Not just the people that could die from it. I think if you feel sick, you stay home.
You stay home. I wanted to cut like a Tom Cruise promo on her. Like, what the fuck are we doing? We've got too much on the line. We've got produce over here. We've got Snickers over there. We got a lot of people counting on us.
Can't get this store shut down.
This is Jewel Osco.
People's jobs are on the line. People's families. Yeah, he lost his shit.
I loved it. I loved every second of it. And then they cut it when he starts going mellow, and he's just like, "You guys are all doing a great job, though." And they're like, "All right, cut it. We don't care about that shit."
Yeah,
we're only here for the hot takes, the hot swears.
Leah Remini, who used to be a Scientologist, said, "Well, what the takeaway from that is that he's a psychopath. Like
that's not a psychopath.
like the way he screams at people. She's like, that's how he would scream at me." And I'm like, I guess, but he's putting like millions of his own dollars. Huh?
What was she doing to get yelled at? That's my question to you.
So rude, Dale. No, he's probably just an intense guy. He doesn't want this thing getting shut down because they were shooting in Italy, so it already got shut down the first time. He's like, what the fuck are we doing? I get it. I'm not saying he's out of place for being mad about them breaking protocol. He did like scream. He yelled.
It wasn't even like the old Christian Bale one where a fucking DP was like walking in his eye line changing a light. Like these people are putting people's lives in danger. And of course, the movie in danger as well. So he snapped off, and it was still like the pussiest fucking
it's Tom Cruise.
I've ever heard. It's Tom Cruise. It's 5'2" Tom Cruise, but he's giving it a go. Just give him a mic. He'll figure it out along the way. And I thought he did a good job. Got some heat in there. It was awesome. Yeah, apparently it's like an experiment. This movie, in a way, where Hollywood's essentially watching like, can we produce movies during this?
Well,
so if it gets shut down, they're gonna be like, nope. And like you said, a lot of people's livelihoods are going to be up for grabs.
Yeah, not even on this movie, just this movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like all of Hollywood's watching, see what happens here.
What I don't know, though, I don't know a ton about the story. A lot of these other, like, I heard that Tyler Perry at his studio, it's like a compound now, and you can go shoot a movie there, but you got to live there and you got to get tested every day.
Oh, good for him.
Which is fine by me.
That's awesome. I like that quite a bit.
But I think he's like a non-union company or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all him.
Right. So I don't know. Like, are these people that were eating or whatever they're doing, they were too close together or didn't have their masks on or something? Aren't they all getting tested every day?
Who the
people
Tom Cruise
that he
movie?
yelled at? Yeah, the people that Tom yelled at.
I hope so. I do hope so. But once again, the false this, the false that,
Sure.
and just in general, here are the rules. Rule number 1: wear your mask. Rule number 2, and you're breaking rule number 1, Steven. Rules. Like, just fucking do it. Wear the mask. Wash your hands every hour, or whatever goofy rules they have.
Of course.
Take your temperature. I love the temperature one. We do that at work, and I'm like, this doesn't mean shit. But whatever.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah,
so
I got a
much.
news flash for you. I had it. Chris had it. Neither one of us ever had a fever the entire time.
It is not an indicator. And we have like the cheapest thermometer you've ever. Everybody reads like 94.7. I'm like, okay. It reads a little cold. So if somebody does have like a 100-degree fever, it's like, you are dying. You need to go to the hospital.
Yeah, it's really 112. And you're
Holy
actually
shit.
already dead and you're hallucinating this entire exchange.
I love that. And they just kind of stop. Like, because of the weather, now you get cold when you're outside. So if the thermometer tries to read that, it's like, your forehead or even your wrist. It's like, nah, it's too cold. And we're just like, fuck it. We tried a couple times. Get in there, you knucklehead. Go buy some sofas, you fucking animals.
Yeah, it's no indication at all.
That's why half those people have COVID.
I mean, I do see that okay, you can look at it the other way, where if you do have a fever, don't come in here. But that doesn't mean if you don't have a fever, come on in, everything's fine. So how about just everybody don't come in here? You know what I mean? Like, that's the only way to be sure. But it seems like we're not really too concerned about sure. We're concerned about looking like we care while this spreads around and kills, 300,000 people.
I call it theater.
Yep, that's what it is. It's a good way to look at it. I mean, it's not a good way to look at it, but as an analysis, that is what it feels like.
Old Joey Biden, like, as soon as he won election night, and then we had to draw it out for a month because of the giant baby with the baby hands. Like, one of the first things was his science advisor or whatever was like, we're probably going to shut down for like a month or so, like right away. And that was it. Like, I haven't heard much about that since, but I have a feeling we're going to hear about it again, especially there was a spike after Thanksgiving, as you might imagine, and I'm expecting a huge spike after Christmas, and that's going to be hitting. That's going to be setting in right around inauguration time, and they're probably going to want to shut some things down, and I understand, and I will hate every second of it, but I will understand every second of it. Yeah, what a world, what a timeline that we were born in. So weird.
It is weird. It is like we've heard it referenced 1 trillion times, and we're not really treading any new ground here, but this is sort of like our Great Depression type of thing that we'll talk about, that we all experienced and then
survived.
It sort of went away. Hopefully, we're hoping it goes. I would imagine during the Depression, they also just hoped it was going to go away, and then it eventually did. Took a lot of work and a lot of spending money. It took a lot of government programs to get that fucking depression to go away. Not just World War II, folks. All kinds of the Civilian Conservation Corps, the Tennessee Valley Authority, all of these like sort of upgrade the country's infrastructure things that the government did and paid people to go do helped as well. And yes, if we shut everything down for a month, it will suck for a lot of people. It's not going to suck so bad for me. So I can't pretend, rather than pretend that I'm also adversely impacted by it when I won't be, I would rather just admit that I have a fortunate job where I can work from home if they need me to work from home. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's going to really, oh my God, yes, it's so, I haven't been on the job site in 3 months. Like and I do it out of respect because some people do really have it bad when everything's shut down.
Yeah.
And
I get into this argument all the time because with the restaurants, I'm like, they need to, because right now we're seeing a lot of the outdoors in tents. And people are like, well, do you tell me what's the difference between dining indoors and dining in one
God.
of those tents? And I'm like, I agree mostly with you. It's stupid either way. Like, I understand why the restaurants are doing it. They're trying to survive. But I think they should be shut down. Well, what about the money? You want these guys to go under? Absolutely not. I want them to be closed, and I want the government to give them a little something so they can survive. You can't have it both ways. Instead, we gave the billionaires all the money, so all your restaurants and bars that you like, you fucking hillbillies, are fucked. But you voted for it, so eat shit. I guess I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not a great way to put it, when you look at it like that. But it is, a lot of it's not really the restaurants themselves. Like, sure, a lot of restaurants went out of business. I get that. But it is a volatile business in the first place to be in.
Yeah, like the lifespan's like a year and a half or something crazy.
I don't know the numbers. I know exactly what you mean. I've heard it referenced. But I used to work at a point of sale company, and most of our clients were small businesses, new restaurants, new bars, and most of them didn't last 2 years.
Not a lot of repeat business from those guys.
And a lot of these ones that are established have survived this through carry out and other things. Yeah. And they got loans to pay people that can't work, and they don't have to pay back any of it as long as they used it for payroll. There's all kinds of shit. And people will even point to that and go, well, the government shouldn't just spend money like that to get us, to keep us afloat here. Yes, that's why we're all pooling together so we can all survive this. And like some people like me who don't have to rely upon that to do their jobs, we'll still be able to work and pay our taxes, and that will hopefully go towards the right thing, But back to what I was getting at, if you do just shut everything down for a month solid, a real one, none of this like it's up to each county to decide how closed they get, If everything just boom closed, you'll have no options but to see the cases plummet, because it happened initially. Like, that's how we got the numbers good, and then everyone just fucked off because every state was allowed to just do whatever the fuck they wanted. And it doesn't even make sense to me to say like, well, this county doesn't really have that many cases. They should be able to stay open. It will happen eventually if they stay open long enough. And it did. We saw it. The numbers don't lie.
It was a waste of time. It was a little stopgap thing that just muddied the waters. It was terrible. It was awful.
I feel I can't even come up with a good analogy, because waste of time is perfect, because we all shut down. We all suffered through it together. And we were told by the health experts, as long as we stick this out long enough, we'll come out on the other side. And people just didn't feel like sticking it out long enough. Well, because of their jobs or what? Okay, whatever. Then there should be some structure there to support them during this weird emergency. And if there was, we could have stuck it out long enough, and everything would be fine, as evidenced by all these other countries.
Yes, that's exactly
that
what
did
I was
it.
They shut it down. They paid their people. They gave them some support, and now it's pretty much behind them. And we're probably right now, based on January 20th here, we're probably at like the halfway mark, I guess, because then the vaccine will help, of course. But yeah, we're not done for a while here.
No.
And we've just it was awful. It was just awful. And that man killed so many people. That orange cunt. I can't believe it. Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Didn't care. Chester Cheetah. Do you, going back to this, it wasn't what I did for a career at all. And, when this was happening, it was only an occasional, it was pretty regular, but like not frequent, that I would play shows with Dad Bod.
Dad Bod?
I asked my wife this the other night. I want to see what you say before I tell you what she said. Okay. Do you think, let's assume that we will, as a nation, because to be honest right now, like we are the worst country in the world for COVID. So as a country, we come out on the other side of this. The vaccines work. Maybe in public, you'll see more people wear masks all the time without a rule just because they want to be nice. What do you see for live music? Do you see it's just going to stay pretty dormant for a while because people are going to not want to go to live shows, or they're gotten used to not going? Or do you think that as soon as things are sort of, whenever that is, that it feels like we can get back to somewhat like normal, that like the tours are just going to start up like crazy and the big live shows are just going to pop up and everyone's going to go ape shit to go to a concert?
Yep, that's the one right there.
God, she said the same thing, and I'm such a cynic. I really hope that's the case. I really do.
I mean, we're seeing it now, Jim. We're seeing it now. People are still on tour, or they're planning a tour, and I've seen countless people who are like, I really miss going to concerts. And people that make music and make money playing music are like, well, I can't wait to give you a concert. I need money.
I'm just hoping it trickles down to the, like, I'll even go see Dad Bod. I miss going see shows so much.
It will. There will be a boom. There will definitely be a boom. And now whether there will be a COVID boom to go coincide with it, that we'll see. But I definitely think people are going to go out in full force. I think there will be a theater boom. I think there will be a music concert boom. For sure.
I hope so.
Sure. For good or for bad. Because one thing that I've learned, and I didn't believe this going into COVID-19's, what people are incredibly selfish. And if they want music, they're going to get their music. And if they want to make money playing music, they're going to make money playing their music. They're going to make it so. And we've seen the lanes that these restaurants and venues will go to stay open. So yeah, all those stars align to the second somebody even considers saying it's okay to do this, we're going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope I have a good intuition as to when the time is right. Cause I would assume right now, if I wanted to, I could book Dad Bod shows somewhere, So
yeah, start practicing, get the new band ready. I'm over here practicing.
Oh, baby, I'm always practicing.
Yeah, I'm banging my shoebox over here, Daddy. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not a big music guy, but if I heard Dad Bod or fucking anybody I know is doing a thing, I'm like, yes, get me the fuck, get me out of here.
Get me out of here. That's a good point. It's a good point. I meant, like, this is the weird part for me is I when the crowds come back, I will probably have to tune in to wrestling shows just to see wrestling with people there. And I think they will get a boom, and I'll get to see like a full house at a show, at least for a few weeks or whatever, like.
And I'm going to be going, every now and then I'll go to an indie show, and the card really has to draw me in. But when we reopen, hey, it's me. I saw you at the last one. Hey, what's going on there, George? Hey, good to see you. I'm going to all these fucking wrestling shows.
There's something so cool about seeing wrestling in person. Even, okay, like on the indie level at a little county fair, or like what was that Chicago one called?
Freelance,
that was a little bit bigger in like a bar, a 2-story bar. That was cool. All the way up to like seeing a Nitro or a Raw or a house show, even like when the house shows were hot, like when they were packed. Mm-hmm. And just seeing it live, it's just so much cooler. Same thing for music. Like I could point out shitty musical live experiences. Part of that is because I do that, right? So I'm looking for different things. And part of it is sometimes there's just shitty concerts, there's shitty venues, like the World Theater or whatever it's called now in Tinley. some shows, if you're way out on the lawn and it's like a 4-second delay between the time you see what they're doing and you hear it, like some outdoor concert venues are just dog shit. Outdoor concerts kind of suck. But seeing a lot, like when we saw Sarah Bareilles at that like 500 seater, man, there's nothing like that. Or comedy, like Tom Segura. Me and Dave saw Tom Segura live, and he did some material we'd already heard, and we were crying, laughing. It's just different when you're there. So be there, but when it's safe, when it's open.
Yeah, because I'm still seeing wrestling shows now. I'm still seeing comedians post on their Instagrams at indoor venues without masks, posing with fans after the show without masks. And I'm just like, and you think this is going to get better? When? Tell me when this is going to be better if this is how we're acting. Fucking, you're children. And unfortunately, we do need the government to fucking shut this shit down because you can't contain yourself. And it's so sad, so stupid.
It is, but to me, the government should take that away because I can put myself in someone's shoes who is single and doesn't care. Maybe they're youngish and they're like, hey man, if these places are open and they're going to book me, I'm going to go get paid. You know, if there's shows that are to be booked, I will book them. And if it's not safe, you know, that's not on me. That's on the venue. Like I could see someone justifying all of it in their mind.
Their rules. Yeah. It's like, well, the venue said these are the rules. So
right.
We're doing it.
Exactly. So if, you know, there was an adult in charge to say, here, I know you're worried. Here's a check. Stay home. Here's another check. We're still not done yet. There's another check. We'll let you know when it's finished.
There we go. Now we're done. Go play your music.
Right.
And that'll be great.
I kind of it makes me hate capitalism in general.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. Like they have to do that to survive. It's like people are put in such a pinch that they're sort of forced to do it, and it's awful.
You get to
because if you even try to support people or have the government carry their fucking weight for the people instead of the billionaires, they're like, well, that's socialism. It's like, no, that's taking care of the citizens, bro. That's
yeah. I'm sorry.
Lives.
I'm just doing what Jesus wants. Is that so wrong? Jesus told me this is what we should do.
The J-Man. But like, you know, back to wrestling real quick because of course.
Yeah.
AEW, they were before COVID, they were running Chicago or the Sears Center, so the whatever the fucking suburb is.
The Chicago market.
Fucking Chicago snob idiots.
The Chicago metropolitan area.
They were running pretty regularly there. And I was like, one of these days, the card's not right yet. The second that first Sears Center show is announced, I'm get my tickets, especially if Omega's on the lineup, because he's on my list of people that I want to see live. So yeah, I'd like to cross that one off, and we're just gonna have to wait.
How many people have you seen dead? Weird way to put it. I like that though.
People that I've seen that are now dead?
No, that were dead when you see. I want to see them alive.
Undertaker, SummerSlam '94. There were 2 of them.
It's true, and he came back from the dead.
So, how's about that? Maybe Bray Wyatt. They set his ass on fire last night. So I don't know if that counts. Wrestling's getting wild. They're like, what do we do with these no fan shows? Let's just do some stunts. Let's just turn this into a Universal stunt show. All right.
Yeah. As much as
the stories are dog shit, let's do some cool physicality.
As much as I wasn't into it for the past few years, I think seeing it with a crowd will make me tune in. It's just so much worse without like when it's bad, it is intolerably bad when there's nobody there.
And what's crazy, Attitude Era, the most, insane, intense fans of any era, probably, ECW type of shit. And then, you have the PG era over here in New York, and it's watered down. You hear a lot of high pitch, yeah, Cena, yeah. You're like, this isn't even a wrestling crowd.
Right.
And now we've done this year of no fans, and I was watching a clip of something that happened not too long ago, past year or two. So it was that watered down crowd, and they popped for something, and I was like, whoa, wow, calm down. Wow, this crowd's out of control. Like
it's all 12 of them.
It's going to be great when we get the fans back.
I hope so. I really do.
We got to survive Christmas first, folks, and we're going to do that.
It doesn't bother me with anything else really. Like any like UFC. I haven't really watched a lot of UFC lately because I like to go watch it with friends. So haven't been doing that. But it like I watched the Sox when they made the playoffs for the first time in a long time. And it didn't I hardly noticed that there weren't fans. Cuz I'm watching the game and just the way it's shot. Like in basketball it was more obvious. But even then, like they're still trying to win the championship just as hard as they would. It's not like, well, there's no one cheering, so I guess I don't need to win a World Series this year. Fuck you, you know?
That money spends.
But with wrestling, it's all about the fans. That is the whole reason it exists. And it's weird when there's none there.
And they've done a pretty good job. Everybody except for Impact has done a very good job.
I forget they're still around.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we'll get there. But it is. I do understand. Remember when people were like, "Yeah, I'm on board. Wear your mask," and then they kind of got frustrated, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go in this restaurant. Fuck it." Like I'm starting to get there, not to the point where I'm gonna break these rules, but I just get frustrated because my buddies, our buddies, Mason and Bobby. I haven't seen these guys since like March, and I'm like, sure wish I could see my fucking friends again.
Right.
Is that okay? Can we calm down so I can see my friends again?
Yeah, there's a lot
I'm
to
doing
be
my part. Jesus Christ.
There's a lot to be said. Like when you think about COVID and who it's impacting, you think about the kids in school and families and grandmas and grandpas. But I think really like a single person that's stuck in their home, it's almost like it would probably drive me crazier. Like being quote unquote stuck at home during the lockdown for me was, oh, my wife's here. We have a puppy and my kids are here and I get to eat ramen while I'm working and drink coffee in my pajamas while I'm working. I wasn't upset or anything. Like I wasn't like, oh God, but man, I'm like, what if you're single and your socialization is your family? Like your friends are your family. Like you have family, you got cousins and aunts and uncles and parents or whatever. But if you're an adult living on your own and you're told don't leave your house unless it's absolutely necessary, you don't have any human contact. It's terrible. So I feel for you. Like I thought about you a lot. I thought about our buddy John. Just people that are just sort of isolated from their social network.
Luckily, I am my own best friend. I'm like, hey, Dale, how's it going? It could be better. You want to write a little bit? Yeah, maybe later. Let's play video games first.
Hi, sir.
But we'll get there Christmas. And then hopefully, the following months, we take a big stab at this coronavirus, this Chinese virus. We shank it with some vaccine. We shank it with probably another lockdown. So brace yourselves. And, we get our content to get us by. Tiger King helped us. Did that first wave.
That's true.
We got the Mandalorian helping us out here during the holidays. Everybody's excited about Mando. No spoilers, but it's very good. Do check it out. And early in 2021, we're going to get Coming to America 2. Eddie Murphy. It's an Amazon original movie. That's March 5th. So that's, there's stuff to look forward to a little bit to kind of get us by. Because I'm hoping, March, April, May, June, we're kind of on the way out of this. Realistically. It'll be gone by Easter. Duh, you fucking idiot. I hope you die.
That was like a month after. It's gonna be gone. No, you just don't know where it is yet. That's like in the movie The Predator. After he kills one guy, like he's gone. But really, you don't know where he is. He's not actually gone.
Well, I can't see him though.
Yeah, I can't see him. Looks like it's all done here. Yeah, one person died, but we'll be fine. Oh, everyone else died except Arnold and that lady.
Well, I don't got it, so it's I got it.
Yep.
I love that too. All him and his fucking idiots got it. Unfortunately, they made it through. Because of socialized medicine. Isn't that fucking hilarious?
Right. We flew him to the best hospital in Washington,
Let's get out of here on a good, positive note.
Of course. Christmas. Yeah. Very Merry Christmas.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
There is.
Folks.
I feel, and I'm a cynic, and I feel that to be true. And one day I will go to Hart House, and I will meet Bret Hart.
So, what is the story with Hart House in real life? Like, what the fuck is it a restaurant? Is it just
No, it's still a house.
Owns it? It's another family.
I don't know if it's a family or like an investor or some mark or what, but it is
Conrad
not
owns Hart House.
It is not owned by the Hart family anymore, but it is like unchanged. Like somebody else owns it, but it is a historical landmark now. So, I mean, I think about it. Like if you bought Hart House, there's no way you wouldn't know whose house you were buying, especially in Calgary. You know, like it'd be one thing if like some Japanese investor bought a house and then found out, oh, some guy who used to be a big athlete lived here. Oh yeah, whatever. But if you're in Canada, in Calgary, there's no way you don't know that you're buying Hart House and what Hart House is. So I'd have tours and shit there.
Absolutely. And then my thoughts immediately go to like the ceiling panels in the basement where Ken Shamrock's head went through during the Owen Hart match down there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, you better not have fucking touched those. I want to see the holes. I want to see the fist prints in the drywall. I want it looking like my house in Dalton. I want to see.
You want to see pictures of Hollywood Hogan covering holes? You'd go into Dale's room and just you'd be like, oh, Hollywood Hogan, right in this spot by the wall is kind of lifted up, and there's just a hole there. Oh God.
So if you folks are in a giving mood, our patreon.com/notlikethis, check out that good content. We do provide, we're not giving you wimpy shit. 90 plus minutes of NWO, another good movie this month as well on that tier. So check that out. Facebook.com/notlikeThisPodcast is where I post these episodes and the corresponding videos or art. I kind of want to post the Coming to America poster because it's so bad. It's not a good poster for the Coming to America. It's in your Discord, by the way. It doesn't look hot. But there's promise with the movie. So there is that. Because I think it's the Dolomite director who did the Dolomite movie last year or two ago.
Yeah.
So there's some quality attached here. And it's fucking Eddie and the other guy.
Arsenio.
And Leslie Jones from Ghostbusters 3? Ghostbusters
2016.
So we'll see. I've got my eyes on you, Coming to America 2, March 5th. When that trailer pops, we'll be talking about that as well. Because I like that movie, that first movie. I really like it. I just really like Coming to America. Any plugs from you, Jim?
No plugs from me. I'm just going to sit back, drink, and enjoy the holidays.
That's how we'll all survive. Thank you for listening. This was episode 155. I'm a COVID lady at Jewel.
And I'm going to have a very Merry Christmas, and all of you should as well. And Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, anything you celebrate. We love you and thank you for listening.
Happy Life Day.